Hello, Staten Island. This is another edition of Together Aside Business Spotlight. We chat with someone from the small business community on Staten Island. My name is Todd Bavona, reporting for the Staten Island Advance. And today we are very happy to have Dean Balsamini joining us. Dean is the Director of Small Business Development Center on Staten Island. Dean, how are you?
Hey, good afternoon, Todd. Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be with my friends at the Staten Island Advance, and looking forward to talking with you today about what's going on the island.
Absolutely. Just so all of our viewers understand what the SBDC stands for, as I just introduced you there, remind us what it stands for and also what the organization is all about now, Dean.
Sure, pleasure to do that. I'm glad you did ask that question because people get us confused with the SBA, which is the Small Business Administration, Small Business Services, SBS City. We're the Small Business Development Center. We're a service provider for the SBA, and primarily what we do is work with small businesses. Much lower key, I guess, on the island. I'm also a member of the Chamber of Commerce. So we partner with a number of the organizations on the island, and really there's about 9,000 some odd businesses, and we work with all of them that can provide services to retail business and wholesale business on the island.
So, talk to me a little about the SBDC and how did you and your employees, your staff, and those working with the SBDC adjust once the COVID-19 pandemic hit? We were in quarantine. What did that mean for you and everyone there, Dean?
Well, first of all, let me just tell you a little bit about my background because I think it's important. I spent over 30 years with AT&T in both the domestic marketing and international relations, which took me all over Asia, pretty much around the world. But primarily, it set us up for what we're doing today. I, native of Brooklyn, to Cupertino, California, to North Carolina, back to Staten Island, where I had property. So and in effect, I'm a native Staten Islander in a way. I love the city and I love Staten Island. Thing is, what we've been doing now is an opportunity to get 6 or 7 of my staff, and I say 6 or 7, I'm the other one, who are experienced, and we've been through the trials and tribulations of Hurricane Sandy and how it operated. So in a way, we've been very, very prepared for this, although no one's been prepared completely for what we've suffered through the pandemic. So it's Hurricane Sandy really generated quite a bit of follow-on after the incident and continued up until today. We still service clients who were affected.
All right, Dean, great background on yourself there, and interesting to hear what the SBDC has been doing. And expanding upon that, what has the SBDC been offering during quarantine, and will continue to do so for the small business community on Staten Island?
Well, terrific question, and I appreciate it. What we've been doing actually is assisting people on one-on-one counseling, webinars, which are very, very important to get people up to speed on what's taking place. But the real thing that gave us a leg up is we left the college a week earlier than the college came into a remote environment. So we were preparing. We also put our own disaster plan in motion before we even came and worked remotely. So we're working with businesses one-on-one. We work with a variety of different types of organizations, such as dentist organizations, who contacted us for assistance during the period of time. We work with a substantial amount of clients, almost 1,000 inquiries during a short period of time. And we're over 75% over what we were from the March period of last year to the end of May to this year, this March to the end of May. The inquiries have been substantial. We worked with a number of clients, over $15 million of assistance on loans. What we do is work with the various banks. We work and set together one-on-one, as I mentioned before, but then also webinars, which are very, very important to educate people and working with new businesses as well during this period. Yeah.
Right, which is a vital tool, resource has the SBDC been. Moving forward with the organization and retooling and getting ready for each phase to open up accordingly, what do you think this means for the future of the organization and how it's going to function for its members moving forward in the small business community?
Well, I think it's been incredible because it's actually brought the team and the other centers. By the way, there are 23 centers around the state and 8 in New York City, and we all work together very jointly in getting things done for clients. But I think the biggest thing It's brought us to a point where we're becoming much more facile. We've pivoted to a remote environment. It gives us the opportunity to actually use, current tools and what we need to do to work with people, enhance our social media footprint. So many different areas that we are able to get into has prepared us for the future. I don't see a total need for us to be fully at the college, 5 days a week. We're not sure yet how that will work. But I think among many businesses now, the need to be able to operate remotely is not a possibility, it's a reality. And we need to all cultivate ourselves and be aware of that.
Excellent point, and you're interesting about your point you bring up. You might not to be on need to be on CSI, but be able to still be there for students who are interested in getting involved with the organization, of course.
Without a doubt, that's really our primary objective and motive. But we also partner with other organizations, and I also have my team are also represented of other organizations with Rotary. I'm a past president of our Rotary. We also are involved with the Bucks, a business organization. We have several members of the Knights. So we have footprint throughout the whole island, and I'm on the board of the Chamber of Commerce. So, we have a good feel for what's going on in Staten Island and kind of retain that.
Excellent experience, great resources, and an excellent spot for small businesses throughout Staten Island to go to for assistance through challenging times like these. That's Dean Balsamini joining us from the Director of Small Business Development Center on Staten Island. Dean, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Todd. Appreciate it.
Great information, and obviously they've been very busy getting businesses back on their feet best they can. Thanks so much for joining us today on Together SI Business Spotlight. My name is Todd Bavona, reporting for the Staten Island event, and we will see you next time.